Whether you're new to pool and practicing the basics, or a more experienced player performing drills to improve your shot making and positional play, the Drill Partner is perfect for you.
Good evening, everybody. It's Molina Mike here and your eyes do not deceive you. We are live. I'm live. Back at the house, back doing more shows. Hopefully, we'll have more coming up in the next few days. Hearing some news is coming pretty soon, so hopefully, we'll have more updates, more reactions, a lot of stuff going on in the pool world. But like in my core and in my soul, I love talking with players. It's why I started doing this in the first place. And like many of you, I was at the house this past weekend, just hanging out, sweating some pool, and then watching one of my favorite players. Although, it's weird because doing this, it's tough to have like a public bias, you know what I mean, or be rooting. But I guess at this point, there's certain things where I just don't really care a whole lot about. So being a fan is number one, and I certainly am of this young lady. I want to welcome back Miss Savannah Easton to the show. How are you, Savannah?
Good. How about you, Mike?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks for making time. I know you got a pretty busy schedule. By the looks of it, it looks like you're at the house for, I'm assuming, the first time in all year, probably.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't. I'm probably traveling more than I'm here at the house.
What was the longest stretch you were at home last year?
Honestly, I don't even know. Maybe 3 weeks to 4 weeks. I think. I'm
Do
pretty
you
sure
get
I was traveling at least every 2 weeks to a month.
that's you know what like for you it's nothing because you're 15 years old and
Oh,
you're
you should hear
still
my
young.
dad. You should
That's
hear
what I'm
my
saying.
dad.
That's where I was getting to is because my heart aches for poor old Larry, living out of the suitcase and being on the road.
Not just that. I mean, he's a tall dude. He's like 6'1", and then
Yeah.
those tight airplanes don't gel with him too well.
No leg room, I'm imagining.
Definitely not. He's
What
like
what do you have
halfway in my seat.
what do you have planned coming up? Because I hear you got like a pretty long flight ahead of you in the next couple of weeks if Mama Bear told me right.
Yeah. So I think in a couple days now, or I guess next week, I'm going to New York. So that's probably the furthest I can travel in the United States because I'm going from the West Coast to the East Coast. So
Yeah.
that's like the longest flight, but I'm pretty excited. I think I'm playing really good right now, so I'm pretty excited. Hopefully, I can, you know, try and win that one, or at least finish
Well,
pretty well.
the New York trip is WPBA, and what's your highest finish to this point at a WPBA event?
At a WPBA event, I think my highest finish was fourth, I believe. Yeah, fourth.
Well, last year, I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah, it was last year. I don't. Hold on. I don't remember if there was a WPBA event this year already. Maybe there was one. I forgot.
I
I'm
think
in so many places. Something.
I think there might have been one. Yeah, I know. What I
Maybe
see,
there is.
I've seen you a few times already this year in California, I think, and in Vegas
Yeah.
and Philadelphia, and
Yeah.
probably in the last 2 months. I mean, besides being home now for like a week, but like I've probably seen you more than I've seen the girls, because every time I'm going to a tournament, there you are, just competing
Hey,
everywhere and
I could
anywhere.
say the same thing about you though. Everywhere I go, I can see Melina Mike there.
Well, it's been hectic, but it's been fun. Like I enjoy what I'm doing on whenever I'm traveling to events, depending on what all's going on. But like I don't have the mental wear and tear or the physical wear and tear of like competing and playing. And if I recall seeing somewhere this past weekend, I think like you played like 30 some odd matches or something over the course of a few days out there in Iowa. Is that right?
Yeah, I played a lot of matches. I don't know how many matches I played, but I just remember I just kept going back to back to back. And honestly, I give credit to Jeremy. That was the tournament director there, because I don't know how he worked around my schedule. I was in all five divisions that they had.
Well, it's not even that you're just in every division, which, by the way, I'm sure can be a real pain sometimes for poor Jeremy. But it's the fact that you go deep and you're a betting favorite to go deep in each and every division that you are at this point or that you play in. So there could be some conflicts. And I think the only experience that I've ever had with that with you is junior nationals, because junior nationals,
Oh yeah,
you
that
know,
was another
it's
one. Yeah.
there's a lot of events going on, 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball. I think one year was straight pool. And then as the tournaments progress and it bottlenecks, well, then it's like, well, Savannah's playing in a semifinal here. And if I remember, I think it was not this past year, but maybe the year prior, um, you were literally, I think, like on a TV table all day for like towards the end. It was like literally like 8 hours of just you on the table playing in one division after another.
Yeah, I mean, for BEF, it's pretty nice because there's so many divisions, and no matter what age group you are, like under 18, obviously, or I think they have under 22 too. But there's always something for someone. So
Yeah.
I don't think I'm doing as much this year. I think I'm gonna focus on the world qualifiers, like the world junior qualifiers, and all the basically 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball, obviously, but most of the major ones. I'm
So
not gonna.
so everything all over again, basically. Is
Yeah,
what
yeah, but like not as much as last year, because last year I was playing all divisions, but like different age groups. So like 9 ball, I would play the 18 and
Oh yeah, it
14.
was like
So
14U, and
yeah,
then yeah,
there's
yeah.
14, 16U, 18U. I think there's a 12 and under too. I forgot though.
Well,
I
you'd probably
think.
be playing in that as well if you were able to at this point. But now you're 15 years old. Are you looking for towards like driving at some point in the near
Yeah.
future?
Well, I don't know about how my dad feels about that,
I
but
was gonna say poor
in
Larry.
my
Yeah.
own mind, yeah, hopefully. But my mom said she's not gonna ride in the same car as me, so I don't know how I'm gonna get that driver's license, but I'll try.
Have you had any like experience to this point, like with your parents being around and them taking you on a little, or like them supervising a cruise around town or something, or like a big empty parking lot?
Definitely not. No.
No.
Yeah, not at all. Um, yeah, let's just say my brother was like racing when he was younger, and he was
Uh-huh.
really good at it, but I sucked at it. So I was really bad. I was like at the back. I think one time I fell asleep at the wheel, which is probably not good. So that's in the back of their
That's
mind now. So
why would you mention that for? Now your parents are never
so
gonna let you get a license now.
no, they remember it every day. That's why. So they just keep bringing it up every time I mention a driver's license. So
Look, the parent in me is just sweating from thinking about it. And I got my 15-year-old now, or she'll be 15 this year, who's already like starting to, you want to say hi, mama? Who's already starting to drive a little bit. And she tells me this, right? Like I've been crazy schedule, especially the last like 8 months or so. And she's like, yeah, Dad, I've been, my grandma's been teaching me how to drive. And I'm like, yeah, 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 okay. And one time I'm FaceTiming her and she answered the phone, right? Which of course that's the point of FaceTiming, right? And I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, nothing. I'm just driving with my grandma. And I'm like, you just answered the phone while you're, and my blood pressure went up. I mean, I was a mess, man. An
yeah,
absolute
that
mess.
was that was my brother, and then finally, but also my parents were like, "Why aren't you answering the phone?" So you know, if you answer the phone or not, it's a lose lose for us children.
Yeah, well, that's actually fact. But yeah, the other thing is, as parents, we're just not willing to um, like grasp the fact that we're getting old, and by default, that means you're getting older. You know what I mean? And all that comes with it. And so it's a lot of like emotional trauma that goes on as a parent. Let me just enlighten you a little bit, okay? So just take it easy on dear old Larry, because it's a tough time. Okay, it's a real tough time right now.
Yeah, I think my mom's excited for me to get my driver's license because then she doesn't have to Uber me around. But she's
Yeah.
also, I don't know how I'm gonna get it because none of them want to ride with me. They're too scared to ride with me, especially with me falling asleep behind the wheel in the back of their mind.
Yeah. Well, now that driving permit just got pushed back another six
Yeah,
months
I
after that
know. I
falling
know.
asleep at the wheel story. Let's
Okay, that was
let's
eight.
let's transition back to Iowa, because you mentioned you
Yeah.
played in a whole lot of events, and I really enjoyed it because I was here at the house and getting to watch you play a lot. And like I said, I'm a big fan, as you know, and but I want to talk about the doubles for a minute because you ended up snapping that off. And I think we were at the expo where I don't remember if it was you or if it was Tiff that said, yeah, she's playing with Shane. And so I'm
Hmm.
curious how that came about because Shane hasn't played in Ultimate Pool. So how did you hear about it, and then how did you guys get linked up to be able to partner up together?
Well, I mean, if I'm being honest, I kind of just I saw he was going, and then we just asked him, "Hey, would you want to play with me?" And he said, "Sure." And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's really not that much of a story behind it, and we didn't really practice together in the when we first got there. I practiced with him maybe for I don't know half an hour or so, but for the first match, I will say I was really nervous playing with him. But after
Yeah.
after that first match, the jitters kind of went away, so everything kind of started flowing. And obviously he's Shane, so it's easy to play with him. He just gets me perfect on the ball, and I just make the ball. That's all he asks. Actually, my dad, right before I played with him, he's like, do you have any tips or advice you want to give like Savannah, like for playing doubles with you? Like, do you have any preferences on what to do? He's like, just make the ball. That's all he said. That's all he said.
Shane's a man of very few words. I know that from experience.
Yeah,
Less is more. But I did see at points throughout that match where he was kind of telling you, hit the ball here, or leave me
yeah.
there, or whatever. So like, was there any? Did you feel any like added pressure when he was giving you advice, maybe like mid game?
Well, when we were playing the doubles, I also had like a kind of long day. So there were points in that match that I kind of just spaced out and forgot he was there. So I just kind of shot it like I would, but yeah, it was nerve wracking in the first maybe couple racks. It was really nerve wracking for me. But
Looking back at like playing junior nationals, and that was the first time I got introduced to you and your parents. And did you ever think like there'd be a point where you get to have these kind of experiences and these types of accomplishments, like playing with Shane on TV table and winning a sweet little championship to boot?
I mean, honestly, when I think BEF was my first tournament, so when I was playing BEF, I probably couldn't even imagine I would be where I am right now, or like playing at this level of pool and traveling, especially traveling this
Yeah.
much for it. So and so did my parents. There's no way they would have predicted it. We talk about it all the time. We just would never think. If I said 5 years ago that I was gonna be playing pool like I am now, then I probably wouldn't believe it. But it's it's fun. Yeah, I like it. It's of course I like it, and it's has its challenges. But I feel like now, in the last couple of months, I feel like I've started to get in a groove and kind of found my rhythm and stuff. So it's nice.
Yeah, I think it was maybe it was in San Diego, where I saw you play at a Lucasi stop. And I think I remember looking over at Larry after, I forgot which match it was, but of course it was towards the tail end. And it might, who's that guy's name? I got a video of you jumping the ball against him, and I just remember I think you lost the first rack, and then after that you just like completely took over. And I remember looking at Larry and just saying, I've never seen her hit a gear like this before, like ever. And I mean,
Yeah,
I've been to a lot of places where you played pool and obviously watch you online and stuff, but like you seem like you're on another level right now.
yeah. I think I've been for the last couple months. I've been really playing more uh, of the men basically. I've been playing more of the pro men events like the Swanee. I played in the U.S. Open and all those, and just playing events like that. I mean, I don't expect to win the whole thing, obviously, like because it's too early, obviously. But
Yeah.
but I learned so much from it, and I feel like my game has improved a lot since I've been playing those events. And I think San Diego was probably one of the first events I really felt like I kind of got into a good rhythm, and like my cue ball was really good, and I just feel like I have really plateaued in the last couple months, like more than last year or more than I ever have. Basically, I feel like I kind of found that leap.
So you mean like maybe you might have plateaued prior to that, and then now subsequently like hit a different gear now?
Yeah, I think I don't know how to explain it. Like it was basically I realized what I needed to do, but I never really executed it, or I thought I realized what I needed to do
Yeah.
until I don't know. It was I don't know when it was. It was probably last month maybe. It was something kind of clicked, I guess. But obviously my dad has helped with my journey for like 3 years. So
Yeah.
he's helped me a lot on all my mechanics, fundamentals, but mostly the mental game. The mental game is probably where I lacked the most, probably in the last year until I feel like a couple weeks ago.
So when I watch you play, and you mentioned the mental game, my like the signature Savannah move is this.
You're looking up?
Just
Yeah. I know. Okay.
looking up, just annoyed at the table is
I've
what I'm taking in anyway. So what's going through your mind when you're given that signature salve, like looking up to the pool gods view?
Yeah, well, okay. I know a lot of people my parents even said stuff like, why do you roll your eyes? Like even if I get perfect on the ball, I still do that. I guess it's just I don't know, it's just a routine I have. And
Yeah.
also when I'm going back to my chair, I think last year I made that habit because I kept looking at my parents. So when I do that, I'm trying not to look at my parents and I'm just trying to stare at anything but them. But somehow my eyes just always find them. I don't even know how. Like there could be 200 people there and all of a sudden somehow they just stick out.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I can imagine. It's part of that family bond. But it's
yeah.
always like it's depending on the situation, because like you said, there would be times whenever you're perfect. I'm like, what is she looking up for? Like she's
I think
dead
it's just
nuts.
a
She's dead
habit.
nuts
Yeah.
perfect here.
I think I just made that habit. I don't know. Maybe it's a routine. I don't even realize I do it sometimes. I just kind of just do it because I don't know. It just feels weird like when I make a shot and then I just stare at the table. I don't know. It feels weird to me.
No, I hear you. Everyone's got their own little rhythm and routine about them. You had a lot of success outside of the doubles there, obviously winning the championship with Shane, but you were also in the finals of the women's event, and it was a bit of a heartbreaker though, Savannah, because it was coming down to
Yeah.
the wire, and that was like the catch-22 of that format. But
Yeah.
man, when she lets you at the table,
I
there's
know.
like two times that I can really recall where like I really like fanned out. And one of them was when Shane wins the world championship. And because I was saying for years, Shane had never won the big one, and he hadn't won an event overseas. And so when Shane was finishing up that run in that world championship, I was there like, let's go. And the other time that I can remember was this past weekend, because as you get an opportunity at the table to go and tie it
Yeah.
up, and she missed the ball, and I was like,
She
let's
scratched. Yeah. She
I was like,
scratched.
let's go. And
Yeah.
I'm not that I'm rooting against her, but more because of me, rooting for
No, no.
you.
Everyone wants to see the kickball shootout, obviously, especially in the
Yeah, for
finals.
sure.
That's like
Yeah,
how someone would want to see someone win,
right,
and that's kind of their whole format, like what draws people in. And there
right.
wasn't a six-ball shootout they had the whole weekend, so
I
that would
don't
have been
think
the
I was
first
seeing
one.
it.
That would have been the first one, and you have no idea. Okay, I think after that I couldn't sleep. I was so tired, but I couldn't sleep for like half an hour at the night because I had nightmares about it, or I was thinking about it constantly. Of
Yeah,
But I did realize I rushed the shot that I missed. Like it's still a little bit of tough cut, but like if I just took like 3 more seconds on it, I probably would have made it.
yeah. I
But
thought I forgot the layout, but I just remember at a certain point I was like, all right, like the hard work was done, and I
it
was
was
like,
it's such an easy out, and I had like the perfect amount of time. I think I had like 1 minute
yeah,
left, and
yeah.
there was only 6 balls or something. So and everything was wide open. But I overrolled it like just a little bit.
Have you played under that shot clock type format like at any other like WPBA, or the Junior World Championships, things like that?
Like the cl- uh the
Like
match
where you're
clock.
under. Well, I guess in terms of like being under the gun with any kind of clock per se, because I know Ultimate Pool is
Ah,
the match clock is their thing.
yeah, yeah. So Ultimate Pool is very unique. They have the match clock. So I think there's only 30 minutes or 40 minutes on it,
Yeah.
and obviously whoever has more games wins. But I don't think I've ever been put into like any pressure situations with as far as time for any pool. That's why I think Ultimate Pool. That's why it's probably a little unique. It's more. it's more for the fans and viewers. Like if you see the crowd, you can't even see it on camera. Like it's crazy the crowd there. It's everyone's really loud. Like it's probably as big as some of the biggest pool tournaments in the world. But it's I think WPBA or even Predator events. Even when I'm playing on the stream, I mean there's still 30 seconds or 40 seconds, and there's no match clock, so
Yeah.
it's not the same pressure, you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It was like, I don't know, man. It just felt like everything kind of opened up perfectly at that point. So
Yeah.
that's where I was just like, let's
No.
go. And then it wasn't meant to be, but it was still very much a success because, you win the doubles in the finals of the women's. And then I saw you in the finals of the juniors as well against Hank the Tank. And Hank's playing good. I remember seeing Hank.
Yeah,
I
I
only get to
know.
see him like once or twice a year. But when I do see him play, kids just getting stronger
Yeah.
and stronger. And that was a pretty tough matchup. I know you won pretty convincingly, but Hank's a
No,
competitor.
I'll be honest. He ran out the first two racks, and they were really tough outs. I got a little worried when he was up 2-0 because he made some tough outs. I was like, geez, And I've never really watched Hank too much, but I know he's like a really strong player, so
Yeah,
I never took him for granted or anything. But I think I broke dry, and he ran out, and then he broke and ran, but they were like crazy outs. And then I'm pretty sure he made one mistake, and I kind of just capitalized on it. But that match really could have gone either way, I think, depending
there's a
on how.
couple of yeah. I mean, there's a couple of kids that I really enjoy watching, like just being a fan of them, hanging out at junior nationals over the last few years. I mean, obviously, like seeing all the kids is great, but like just from enjoying pool and seeing all your young competitors like traject upwards. It's like Hank's one of them, Eddie Vondero's one of them,
Mhm.
and on the ladies side, obviously you and Sophia are great as well. There was this I forgot the other young girl's name, but there's a lot of young talent out there, which is great, and I'm
Yeah,
excited to go
Jordan
back
Helfrey's
for.
another one too. She's definitely coming up.
Say that again.
Jordan Helfrey.
That's the girl
Yeah,
that I was thinking about, Jordan. Yeah, yeah,
she's
that's the one I was
definitely
thinking about.
coming up.
Because
Yeah,
she was in the finals, I think, of like one or two events last year, wasn't she? In junior
yeah,
national.
yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure she was. I played her the last ultimate pool in the finals too, but I got lucky honestly because she was up on me, but I got really lucky with some other rolls. But she definitely could have beat me there. So
How do you enjoy playing on the bar table versus playing on the Bigfoot? Because I've never really seen you play much other than ultimate pool events on the 7 foot.
yeah,
I
I
mean, like
mean,
other than when I beat you in one pocket on the bar table.
oh
But we'll
my
say,
god,
but
you just gotta bring that up. You forgot about the other
I,
10 times.
we're just it's the little giants. You know what I mean? All we need is one time. No, really. How do you like play on the 7 foot?
Um, I mean, I don't know. There's not much to say. I mean, it's kind of just make sure you get good shape. That's basically it. Because on a 7 foot, I feel like you can make it from almost anywhere. So just make sure your cue ball's tight, especially Ultimate Pool. Those tables, the cloth is so fast, it's crazy. Like it just keeps rolling and rolling, and they slide a lot. So it's very different. Um, but I usually prefer playing on the 9 foots because it's just I feel like I don't know. I feel like I can let my cue ball loose more. Whereas bar box, you kind of have to like have a very short stroke and everything. It's
Compact. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Less is more depending on what you're trying to accomplish. That's for
yeah.
sure. So, do you have like now, given the success in Ultimate Pool, is that something that you're going to add on to your already full plate as far as like attending more of those events?
Um, yeah, I might try. Depending on my titles, obviously, but
Yeah.
I think the next one's Boston, so it's kind of hard to get to because it's West Coast to East Coast, and it's kind of hard to travel for. I usually when we travel from West Coast to East Coast that far or something, usually it's for like a WPBA tournament or
Yeah.
you know a Predator or whatever, basically a professional tournament. So
Right.
it's hard to travel all the way there for bar box because bar box can go either way, honestly.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, you made yourself. I mean, people already root for you as it is, but like it's cool seeing you have success in those events for sure. And just be so versatile, and it does add a different layer to your game, being able to play and compete and go far and snap it off. Because I mean, I mean, hell, being in three finals is no easy task. I mean, there was a lot of monsters there in every division that you played in.
Yeah, I was so upset. I know it sounds greedy, but like I was so hoping I could win like three out of the five divisions. It would be so cool. And then the
Uh,
Open, I had good hope too because there was quite a few players. I think there's like 150 players in the Open or something, or maybe more or less. But yeah, I got fifth in that one, so I had good hope. I was like hoping I could get in the finals at least for all of them. It would be so cool.
but that's good. That's what you got. Like that's the standard for you, these days. I feel like, and so that's every you've been around great players, for years now. But like, and you see it. It's like it's all or bust. You know what I mean? It's either I'm expecting to win. I'm expecting to dominate, and I can admire that about you, and it's cool seeing you. Like, Larry had sent me a photo of one of our first interviews at Super Billiards Expo.
He sent me that
um
too.
did it, yeah, years ago,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, she's so little then, you know what I mean? And like, but it's cool to like see you transform from like a cool story of like a young, American girl who's playing great and she's traveling, and but then it's like, I think you're a great player, not just a great junior player, if that makes sense. And so, but you've earned that, like cutting your teeth and taking losses, and it's not easy. I'm imagining playing on every single stream, every single time, TV tables, your own page. It's like you're always under the spotlight. So with that comes like scrutiny. I'm imagining, and people with opinions and things like that that can't be easy to fade with the land of the internet. So I got a lot of respect for you.
Yeah, I think I got really lucky for how I started because I've only been playing for maybe almost 4 years now, and I think I've gotten really lucky with my mom. Obviously, she helps me with my social media. I mean, a lot of people know that, and then my dad. He's always been my coach. I've never
She does a
really
lot
had.
more than just social media. She's
Yeah,
like
she does
she's
my
yeah, yeah,
travel stuff. She
yeah.
does everything that people behind the scenes don't see. And
Right.
then so does my dad. He helps me with my game every day. I mean, he can help me. He pretty much coaches me through every match I ever played. And I think I got just really lucky, especially with all the opportunities I got. With all the sponsorship and everything. So I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of good junior players I feel like out there. It's just they don't have as many opportunities as me. So I'm very grateful for that. Obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I feel like you've earned it, and it's not just from having a great social media. It's like your game, it's your attitude, it's the way you present
Yeah.
yourself. That's not easy to do, like to be on all the time. And when you go somewhere, and I've had this conversation before with others, it's like it's so tough when you're, especially on the back end of like a long trip, right? Because like I've gone
Yeah.
from California to Philadelphia, and then I'm burnt out from doing the California stuff for whatever it was, 3, 4 days in a row,
Yeah.
right? And working, 14 hours a day. But then it's like you go to Philly and the person you meet, that's their first time seeing you. Like they're excited to see you. They don't care if you're tired. They don't care if you're burnt out, if you had, if you woke up late or whatever. Like they've been looking forward to seeing you, and you're the consummate professional, and you always just, say hi to everyone and take photos and shake hands and lose a couple of games in one pocket in between there with me whenever we're out somewhere. And so just gotta throw that in there every little
Yeah.
chance that I can.
I saw you. Real smooth. Real smooth.
Yeah, that's the nickname.
Yeah.
All right, so you got a lot of stuff coming up, and we'll get to it here in a little bit. Junior Nationals, WPBA, the World Games as well, which we're gonna plug here in just a moment. But before we jump into it, what do you want this year? What is like the Savannah personal goal for this year?
I mean, when I was like a couple years ago, it was to hit 700 speed, but
Yeah.
it's harder now that I realize because I have so many games. I think I have almost 7,000 games in the system now,
Well,
and I could win a
where's
whole.
your target at right now?
It's like a six. I think almost a 640. I'm pretty sure, like a
Okay.
630 something.
I'd be willing to bet, because of the fact you said you got like 7,000 games in there, that probably for the last year plus you've probably been playing over 700. Would just be my guess. Like if you just took this like 12-month into consideration, and I can message Mike or email him and see, because they can give me the stats, but I would guess that you're probably already hitting that clip, if not above it.
I mean, I'll leave that up to what you think, but
Yeah,
that used to be my goal, but it's so hard to hit 700 speed now with how many games I have because
yeah,
I could win a whole tournament or I've beaten a couple 700s and it'll go up maybe 1 or 2 points at max.
right.
So I kind of left that goal, but hopefully I don't know, just to finish really good. Honestly, really good in all the
Well,
pro.
where like really good in what WPBA and I mean World
I mean,
Championship.
yeah, WPBA, and then hopefully to play more men's events because I feel like that's really opened up my game a lot. Like I feel like the more men's events I've been playing, it's really gotten me to see things differently, and I think it just improved my game a lot. And then obviously in World Games, hopefully I can have a really good finish there because that's the whole goal, obviously. Um, Yeah, that's pretty much my goal so far. Hopefully, I mean, obviously, I want to win everything, but that's just unrealistic. So,
Yeah, yeah. No, but I like it though. I mean, listen, you gotta aim high, and
yeah,
so and I think like no matter what, you're gonna be a threat in anything that you're in, and there's gonna be expectations and successes and heartbreaks. But I mean, I feel like your game's just at a whole other level just in the last 6 months. So all the fans you got around the world, I could be rooting for you along with myself. And you mentioned the World Games, Savannah. How did that conversation come about? How did that opportunity come about? More importantly, I'm assuming you got a call from Shane Tyree. Would be my guess.
yeah. My mom got a call from Shane Tyree, and she didn't tell me until I think I was in school. I go to school literally 1 day a week. Of course, most exciting news. It was while I was in school,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've been working up to this. I've been trying to work up to this and get invited to this. Hopefully, since I was first started. I've heard of World Games when I first started, and I knew it was probably one of the most prestigious events to play in. So I've been kind of working up to it. Honestly, I didn't really think I would get invited this quickly because I didn't think I would. When I was 11 or 12, I didn't really think I would be where I am right now.
Right.
So, just getting picked for it to represent the USA. I mean, it's probably a dream come true. I was so excited when she told me, and there was really no thought to accepting it, honestly. So I'm really excited to play in it, and yeah, hopefully I can get a really good finish in it.
You mentioned going out there, but I think the last time you had it 4 years ago was in Birmingham. This year
Mhm.
it's in China, and I'm imagining with that comes a lot of added expense and
Yeah.
bit unexpected as well because you weren't considering yourself to make it for this year. So how have you been able to get support, whether from your sponsors or otherwise, to travel out there?
My sponsors have honestly been so amazing. I mean, all of them, have somehow helped me in some way. And as soon as they heard I was getting into World Games, they all helped me. Whether it was, giving me stuff like Brunswick, obviously. Some people saw probably that I'm running a raffle for a table, and Brunswick was just generous enough to let me uh, pick one of the 3 tables. Yeah, I knew you were gonna pull it up.
I was working on it. I was trying.
Yeah, so they have the option of me or the winner picking three tables, and I'm really grateful from them because that's gonna help so much.
Oops.
And
Don't know where that came from. Hold on.
on
Yeah,
it, obviously, traveling to China is
internet's
so
doing that.
expensive. The plane tickets, the hotel, or not hotel. The plane tickets, just getting there is so expensive. So I'm really grateful that Brunswick can do this for me.
What I was trying to show was the raffle that Sven has got up on her page. It's for winner's choice, like she mentioned, for tables courtesy of Brunswick, including, if I read it right, it includes the seven, the Gold
Yeah,
Crown seven, as an
it's the
option.
brand new Gold Crown 7. You can pick the size of the pockets, the color. They come in 3 colors: black, brown, and white.
Yeah,
And then you can also hold on. And then also they install it for you. So Brunswick's gonna install it for you. So the winners, it's really cool. I mean, honestly, I can't believe Brunswick would even offer this for me. So I'm really grateful again. But you can pick from the Gold Crown 7, the Gold Crown 6 Tournament Edition, or the Centennial 9-foot table. So all very, very good tables you can pick from.
Good tables, expensive tables too
Yeah.
as well. And they look great, they play great. Brunswick's been a supporter of the page, along with obviously Q and Case and Lucasi, which is
Yeah.
under that same umbrella. They're awesome. Nick's one of the best people in the industry I've ever dealt with, and like I said, the page wouldn't be going on without their support. That's for sure. So make sure and go check it out. I think out of when you put it up, it was flying, but you still got some spots available. So if somebody does want to jump on in and get a choice of the tables, how can they go about jumping on in?
I mean, basically, you can just comment or message my mom, and she's just handling everything. Yeah, just comment basically what numbers you want, and then you can Venmo my mom. It's pretty simple, and yeah, you'll have a chance to win a Brunswick table for.
It's pretty sweet. Before the 7, probably would have snap called the Centennial just because
Yeah.
I love the way the Centennial looks. It's such a classic table. The
Yeah.
lines on it, the body. I mean, everything is just beautiful about it. But now after seeing, I like the white Gold Crown 7 personally. That's just
Yeah,
when I
I know it's really appealing to the eye, and I think it
yeah
would look really good in a house. Definitely, if your friends are over, you can show them. But
yeah.
here, I have a couple pictures. Like this is the Centennial. I don't know. There's glare. Actually, there's
We'll
no way.
share. Well, yeah, there's
Yeah,
no way we're gonna miss it. We'll be able to
yeah,
share it on Windows Open as well. And we'll probably drop the link in the video description as well. It's the Brunswick Centennial. It's a classic table, and big shout out to them for helping support what you got going on and all your sponsors for that matter. But it's there's a lot going on when it comes to raffling off a table. So
yeah,
yeah, hopefully the winner will be super thrilled. And personally, I think they're gonna pick the white 7, but you never know. They may pick Centennial. I think I saw a comment somebody asking about the bar table. So, whatever they want, I'm sure Brunswick will go and accommodate. I didn't realize though it was like size of the pockets and
yeah,
cloth
yeah.
and whatever
No,
else.
that's
So
that's why Nick was. I was so surprised when Nick sent us a message because I was like, that's crazy, honestly, for them to
yeah,
offer that. I mean, especially with them assembling it, you don't have to pay for the assembly, which is
yeah.
usually pretty expensive. So
Shipping is expensive these days, that's for sure,
yeah,
and the freight of the table alone. But yeah, like I said, it's just a credit to them, and I would want to say I'm not surprised, but it's still pretty awesome of them to step up like that whenever you got an opportunity, and it's cool, man. I mean, listen, you're traveling the world, you're getting more and more opportunities, and hopefully you can go deep and bring home a gold. Have you, like, outside of junior world, like world junior championships, have you represented the United States like in a formal event like this before?
I probably have, but I probably can't remember. I think other than juniors, probably not. I don't think. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I was
think
gonna say 'cause I don't think you have outside of the juniors.
yeah. Was the one in Atlantic City for it was a world title, I think, but I forgot if it was, really representing something like that.
Oh, the women's world 9 ball.
Yeah, is that I don't know if that's I forgot.
I
I think
think
it
so.
was invitational,
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
but
Well,
not
we'll
nothing
see.
as prestigious as this.
Yeah.
We'll just say I haven't. Yeah.
Look, it's the closest thing to the Olympics as you're going to get, kid. And I'm not trying to throw like added pressure on you, but it's cool, man. And it's a big opportunity, and you got the game that can serve you well in there, and especially given that you literally play under every like on every TV table in every single tournament that you enter into like constantly. So that's a big advantage because there's not a lot of ladies in the world that can say that, and especially like in the tail end of tournaments. So certainly going to be at a big advantage there. Your mom says you
Uh
play
oh,
every
I'm getting
single.
lectured by her. She's not
Well,
even here. Somehow I'm getting lectured by her. No,
every
I
time
guess. Okay.
if you ever see Tiff and Larry for that matter, but especially Tiff, anywhere at a pool tournament, this is what she's doing here. She's just walking around aimlessly, not aimlessly, with purpose, but just looking at her phone, and she's keep an eye on the stream that's going on.
I agree.
And
I agree.
yeah,
Seriously.
every single time I bumped into her before because I'm always on my damn phone as
He
well.
doesn't
So
notice, trust me.
no,
No.
yeah.
No, I know I've played in every women's world championship, but I didn't think that was like really representing USA. I feel like this
Yeah.
one's more prestigious just because there's only one American that's representing. And I'm representing I saw
Oh, so
Peyton Red.
you're the only American woman who's representing.
Yeah, there's only 12
That's yeah.
there's only 12 women. And I think each country gets one, and I believe China gets two because they're
Because
hosting.
they're the
I think.
host country.
Yeah, I think so. So
Well, you're gonna have your work cut out for you, kid. But you know,
yeah,
it's time to shine. You know,
yeah,
so I'll be rooting for you. I don't know what the streaming is gonna be like because the World Games were a little janky a couple years ago in Birmingham, but hopefully they've stepped
really.
up the game since then. But we'll be sweating the scoreboards, that's for sure. On the note of World Championships, you got the World 8 Ball coming up. Is that something you're looking forward to? I know, like, I mean, we saw you win 8 ball on the
Hmm.
bar table, but I don't think I've ever seen you play much 8 ball on the big
On the
table.
9 foot,
Yeah,
I don't really even play 8 ball that much, even on the bar box. Like I mostly focus on rotation, so 9 and 10
yeah.
ball. But I mean, obviously, I know how to play it, but it's just I don't play as much as
Well,
I
junior
would.
nationals. Now think about it. Junior nationals on the 9 foot.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking. Yeah, I'm talking about like with with
Yeah.
the top woman,
Right.
and it's gonna be in Green Bay, and it's on the Packers field. They're doing the opening ceremony, so it's pretty cool.
That part's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a pool event, the opening ceremony on
Now
something. Yeah, something as big as that. So that's really exciting, and I'm pretty sure this is the first 8 ball women's world championship. So hopefully I'll
I
do the good there too.
I said I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. I said whenever that event got announced that I was gonna try to make it, and I'm still that's the goal. I don't know how far out it is at this point because we're already coming up to May, which it blows my mind because it was just
Yeah,
New
I
Year's. I
know.
feel
This
like
year went so fast. It's crazy.
it's so crazy. Just the last 2 years in general have been absolutely nuts. But hopefully, I can make it out there. I'm excited. I don't know. I've never thought I would be excited to go to Green Bay, Wisconsin, if I'm
Yeah,
being honest with you. But
yeah.
um,
I said the same thing. But I
it's a
live in
world
Vegas,
championship, though.
so yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we mentioned World Games. We mentioned that raffle. Like I said, well, you guys can check it out on Savannah's page as well. What else is coming up for you, kid? You got a WPBA event before you travel
Mm,
overseas. So where you headed to prior to the World Games?
Prior to the okay, hold on. I have my schedule here because there's a lot. I have so many.
You got a lot
Uh,
going on.
so obviously I'm playing BEF. That's right before, well, kind of right before the World Games.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in July, and then World Games is
Oh,
in
so the World Games
August.
in okay. Well, then in that
Yeah,
case, I'll see you before you go to the World Games. Then.
yeah. Well, BEF is in July. August is World Games. Yeah.
Ah,
And,
okay.
yeah, and then obviously is the World 8 Ball in Green Bay, which talked about, and then WPBA Soaring Eagle. So that's the biggest WPBA event of the year because it's the most added money. And then
Where's Soaring Eagle at? Where's that at?
it's Michigan, I think, right? Okay, my mom's probably gonna correct me, but
Your
I'm pretty
mom,
sure it's Michigan.
your mom's shaking her head right now as we speak.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't. I think she's disappointed right now, but I'm pretty sure it's in Michigan. I'm pretty sure it's in Michigan.
You'll
Or
be all right.
okay, and then this was last minute. I just added this. We just added this a couple weeks ago, and so right after New York. So yeah, after New York, we're going to East Coast, and so right after that, we're going to the UK Open for the Junior Open.
Oh,
So it's
nice. Okay.
yeah, so it's only a 6 hour flight from New York, so it's kind of right there, I guess. But
You know what? I was wondering because so when I messaged Tiff about you coming on the show, for some reason I thought like I don't even pay attention to the calendar, but I figured you were already going to be on the go like Thursday because like you're traveling all the time, right? And she was like, "No, we're going to New York first, and then
Mhm.
London. And I just thought, like, okay,
Mhm.
maybe I just didn't think about what's going on in the UK
Yeah,
or
you probably
I
thought it
had
was
no
like
idea.
a vacation,
Maybe
probably something.
vacation, maybe
Yeah.
something else going, or maybe on the actually, to be honest with you, I probably thought like on the way to maybe going for a couple days before heading to
Mhm.
China. I don't know, man. My calendar's a bit rough these days, a bit rusty, but that's cool.
Yeah,
You're gonna be playing the junior
the
UK.
Jason Shaw, yeah, Junior Open. I want obviously I want to play the Matchroom Opens, but
Yeah.
I have to be 16, so one more year. But
Is it
hopefully that
16 or
can get
17?
16. Yeah, so
Okay.
hopefully that's in my future to play some of the Matchroom events. And let's see. I think
You got
that's it. Honestly.
a Rax WPBA event in New
Mhm.
York, then right, then you're going to the UK junior event, and then
Mhm.
you're just going to the UK and Europe just for that, and then flying
Mhm.
on back. Then
Mhm. Yeah, it's so I think we're gonna be gone for like 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure, which is 2 weeks is so long. Oh my gosh.
yeah, it's
But
rough.
yeah, because so far this year I've only been traveling like a couple days, so 2 weeks is feeling so long. But
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm real excited.
Well, that's going to be a different level of competition. I feel like
Mhm.
because you're going to get some top young European talent out there, which is a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
And it's a junior open event, so you're playing the boys and the girls. So
Mhm.
which is pretty exciting. So that'll be a real good
Kind of what
experience
I want
for
to
you.
play. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. So
See, I like that you
I
just
want
want
to
to like
win it.
embrace the challenge. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to win it, obviously. Because I mean, if we're honest here, the USA, it has some strong juniors, but once you get out of the country, there's still, China, Philippines, the
Yeah.
year, yeah, the
Europe.
European, yeah,
Yeah.
European. I forgot grammar. Yeah, Europe. um. So yeah, there's a whole different competition, and I just kind of wanted to experiment with that and see how I do there. And if I don't do good, I mean, at least I'll learn something. So.
Well, how do you stay from because you know, if you were to go and play, like you mentioned, playing in Griffs, right, in the U.S. Open series out there, and you weren't a favorite by any means in those events. So, like, how do you compartmentalize when you're going into an event like that, where you've you're going to give it your best shot, right? You're going to give it a great effort, all that stuff, but you're not an overwhelming favorite, and so how do you set your expectations to where the disappointment isn't too much to handle? I guess is the question.
Mhm. When I'm usually people, I don't know what when I talk to people and they're the underdog, they seem like defeated. But when
Yeah.
I'm the underdog, I feel like I like it more when I'm the underdog. I have less pressure, and if I win, it's basically just a bonus. So, but I
Mhm.
am looking to win when I go there. But I'm just saying, if I don't, I mean, it's just kind of another tournament. But it's I don't know. When I'm the underdog, I feel like I perform better because there's less pressure.
Do you feel though that do you ever get too down on yourself when you lose an event like that, or you go out
Yeah.
earlier than maybe you expected?
Well, even though a lot of people, it doesn't matter if it's a world championship or if it's some bar tournament or something. I always expect to win, or
Yeah.
not expect, but I always like try to win, or
What's the goal? Yeah.
I always try to win, and even when people say, you're not the favorite to win or something, I still get really disappointed. It doesn't matter if I'm playing Jason Shaw or something or Shane Van Bonen.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I sometimes I'm a little too hard on myself, but I feel like that's what has gotten me a little better.
100%, it's helped out in that process for sure. But see, my what I think about is what your parents think about, because I'm the dad in me then kicks in, because as a dad you want to like protect your kids, right? And so like if there's if Jason's waiting for you across the table, I'm be like, you know what, maybe we can go, not play this round, you know what I mean, or maybe we
Yeah,
can try to like spare you from the disappointment. But I love the fact that you just take it on and you want to experience it, and the seasoning is going to pay dividends for you, because you can already see that in the way that you've been competing over the last few years. I remember
yeah.
one of my favorite stories of watching you compete, Savannah, is from going from junior nationals to I think it was like maybe the next year or it might have been I think it was the following year, but it was in Michigan. And I'll never forget because it was a Predator Pro Bird Series, and there was a particular match where you're playing Jasmine Ocean, and Jasmine's a monster, still is, was then, and is now, right? And so, but I don't remember if you won a set or I can't remember what happened, but there was like a turning point there where I was like, man, she just wants to compete, and that's whenever I already had a lot of respect for you, kid, but I had even more respect for you just seeing because it's not easy. It's not easy to go out there and get your butt kicked by professional, especially when you're young, you're fearless and you want to win and you expect to win, and then it's just like but right now may not be the time. But if you don't go through those losses, you're never gonna have the wins on the back end. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
never gonna. It's prepared you for it.
Yeah, yeah. In the process, I was really disappointed, and I
Yeah.
just expected myself to win everything, which is unrealistic. But I think now I'm starting to realize, those losses have kind of gotten me better. And I know it sounds weird, but those losses, it's taught me a lot, and it's kind of grounded me more. If I won everything, I mean, it just, kind of just be boring, honestly. If I
Yeah.
just won everything, so those losses I feel like have shaped me as a player, and my dad obviously helps me have a level head and everything, and make sure I don't get too disappointed. But my parents still give me that time to cool down when I lose a match. So
What's the time frame like, Savannah, where you're like after the match where they know we'll give her like an hour, or I'm gonna give her
like
like a 30
yeah,
minutes?
yeah, like 30 minutes to an hour. Some people say they cool down, they just need like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, I don't know how people do that because I need like a whole hour, seriously. But
Yeah.
I'm just silent for like 30 minutes to an hour, and then after that I can start like weaving my way back into the real world.
Look, it's you got great opportunity, but like I mentioned earlier, you earned it and you continue to earn it, and more opportunities are going to come your way as a result. And then the results are going to continue to flourish in. I mean, look, you've seen Christina go on a massive run, over the last 12 months, but I mean, she had her steps in her career also with heartbreaking losses that were right before then, you know what I mean? In the prior couple of years, so it's like you, it's all a part of building up to get to that point of snapping off that big one, whether it's the World Games or a WPBA event or whatever you feel like that top shelf finishes for you this year. If it's not, the next few months, it'll be the next few years at a minimum. And I think you got that kind of game and that kind of spirit and that kind of drive and competitiveness. And I'm not just saying it because you're on the show. It's you know, I got a lot of respect for you, man. You're a tough cookie.
No, thanks, Mike. No, you're probably one of the first people I think I met in pool. Well, not first, but yeah, one of the first few people I think I met in pool. So I think you've pretty much seen like me since I first started, basically. Like,
I remember that junior national final against you and Sophia, and then that's whenever it was literally during that final where I think I heard somebody told me, it might have been Desiree, it might have been your parents, I don't remember, or maybe Collins, I don't know, where it was like, this is her first junior nationals, and I'm like, what? Like, it's just mind blowing. And then to go back and like reflect on this, like the South Point and to now, and then to see like your successes and then see you across the country. And like I said, it's one thing to be like, as a kid, people want to like people want to put you in this bubble, right, where like they don't want to be as honest with you as they would an adult, right? Because as an adult,
mm-hmm.
they'll tell it like it is, and if you dog this or if you miss that or whatever. But as a kid, it's different because you're more sensitive to them being so young. But like, and you are like 15, you're still very young, but like you're whenever I speak about you, it's not just being, oh, she's a great story, or oh, she's a great junior player. Like, no, you're a great player. Like, woman or man, you're a great player. And but it's not because of me wanting to keep you inside some kind of like little bubble and make sure your spirit's high. It's because you've earned that. You've taken your lumps, you've taken your losses, and every bit of respect that you got, whether from me or from whoever else, it's because you and your parents from traveling the world have earned that. And so you got nobody but yourself and your work ethic and your team to go and thank because of that, man. I mean, and that's, nobody can ever take that away from you, dude. You've accomplished so much at 15 that people are too scared to do when they're in their mid 30s. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's amazing to watch. And I can't wait to watch more of you play, if I'm honest with you. You know?
Whoa, that's deep, man.
I know, right? It's getting a little too deep on dogging here, but
No, thank
um,
you, Mike. Thank you.
no, it's all sincere. Anyhow, listen, I appreciate you making time for me. I know it's late, and I'm sure, I don't know if tomorrow's your school night or not, but either way, I know you're a busy young lady, so thanks for making time for me. Uh, Make sure and go check out the Savannah Easton page on Facebook if you guys do want to go and support her. She's got, I think, like 20-ish spots left in that
Yeah.
Brunswick table winner's choice. I'm assuming it's like anywhere in the country, right? So like not
Yeah.
just for Vegas or not just by the Brunswick factory in Wisconsin, like wherever the hell you're at, you fire at it, you win it. Brunswick's gonna hook you up. I didn't even realize delivery and installation was included. That's like another, couple $1,000 jelly right there on top.
Yeah. Okay. Here, delivery and setup included by Brunswick
Mm-hmm.
authorized team, and then but it has to be within the lower 48 states. So
Still pretty
basically,
good. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically,
Hey,
yeah, all of them pretty much.
Hawaii, sorry, buddy, you're out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, listen, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Go check her out. Go support her, whether it's in the World Games or online or whatever. Tell your dad I said hello, as always. And of course, Mama Bear for making all this happen. So, anyhow, thanks everybody for hanging out with us this evening. We're going to call it a night. Savannah, thanks for your time. And
No, thank
yeah,
you.
we'll see all you guys and gals real soon.